The problem is that we're allowed to kill children in this nation and in this state by, 16 a day. Yearly, it's thousands. My name is Matthew Richardson, and I'm just a student here in Alabama. I live in Millbrook. As a Christian, I can't be okay with murder because God commands us not to murder. I can't be okay with abortion because it is murder. God says, He knit us in our mother's womb, and He's the one who authors life, and we're not allowed to erase what He's written. We're not allowed to prevent Him from writing what He wills, and we're not allowed to stand by and let other people do that either. The issue is that people who have a right to live and who should live, and that we should be protecting are not protected, and they're not living, and we're okay with that as a whole. That's the main problem. If everybody, cross-culturally, whatever, is looking at something and thinking that's not right, then there's no need to try to explain why it's okay for you to do it. You just don't. It's an ethical understanding, so why do you need to find a loophole except for the fact that you're selfishly wanting a certain thing? I don't need to look at a wall and say, that is a wall because it is made of this. I look at it and say, that's a wall. And if you try to tell me otherwise, you're gonna have to try to break down the definition of a wall and what really constitutes as, well, it doesn't go all the way. It's like you gotta find a roundabout way to try to get your point across. And at the end, I think everybody's so confused that those who agree with you are just like, I'm sure that you're right because you're saying stuff that I don't understand. I like the concept that God is a lion, and you don't need to defend a lion, you just let it free. And I think God's truth and God's realities are the same ways. You don't need to defend it. You just need to stand for it. In Alabama, it is legal for us to end life and prohibit any chance of quality of life in children 16 times a day. That's nearly an infant every 2 hours. Proposal 16 is our movement to stand and say that we're not okay with that. If someone is willing to do whatever it takes to protect our children, then we're willing to do whatever it takes to get them in a position where they can. I just ask you to go to proposal16.com if you want to be a part of this. If at this point you haven't really done anything but you agree that it's wrong, I would ask you to not sit down, to not stand back and watch and nod in the distance, but to actually do something. To actually watch a murder and not act, I would say it puts you right there with the murderer in allowing it. And I would just ask you to not sit down any longer. I've sat down for a long time, and I'm ashamed of the fact that I haven't done anything. And I would like you to join me in finding out what we can do and how we can act in ways that our children can have the assurance of life and can be protected.